And the few that there are, you're competing with 5 million other people, and they're requiring that you offer up your firstborn and already come with 45 years of experience.
They filled the spot already. And I knew that 2 weeks ago when my friend told me that he got one of the positions. They were hiring for 5 or 6.
I feel like I have to reach that point where I kind of need to ask for help and maybe look into different government assistance fundings that are provided.
So apparently over 750,000 federal workers have been laid off due to this government shutdown. So in this video, let's talk about it.
The job market is terrible, but here's my best advice that I can give somebody who's looking for a job right now. Number one, stay off of these recruiting websites, LinkedIn, Indeed, what's another one, Built-in. You don't want to go to those websites and think that, oh, this is the opportunity for me to find a job. I would say about 80% of those jobs are fake jobs. They're not real. They're either jobs that the companies are just posting so they can get their numbers up and say like, hey, we posted this job, we got this many applications for their statistics or whatever. I'm not too sure why they're posting fake jobs to steal your information. That's another reason. But yeah, stay off those websites. That should not be your main source to look for jobs. While I'm not saying that you can't get a job from there, what I'm saying is that it's flooded with fake jobs, fake recruiters, companies that just want to get their numbers up. It's not a good source for you to go and apply for jobs and think like, oh, this is where I'm going to get the job. So stay off those sites. Instead, what you want to do is you want to go to actual company sites. If you're applying for Amazon, you want to apply for Amazon on Amazon's career site. You don't want to go to Indeed and apply for Amazon. Go to Amazon's career site and apply for them. Same thing for Home Depot. If you want to apply for Home Depot, go to Home Depot's career site. Don't go to LinkedIn to apply for Home Depot, because first off, Home Depot is going to look at their career site before they look at anything else. The next, and this is probably the most important thing, your resume is not a one and all thing. Your resume needs to be tailored to each job that you apply to, not just you create one resume and you send the same resume to every single job. That's not going to work. With AI is already filtering through resumes, so you have to learn how to beat AI. Basically saying that there's a job description, there's qualifications. Your resume needs to have that job description and those qualifications on there. While I did not lie on my resume, I need you guys to understand this. Those qualifications and those job descriptions that you're applying for needs to be on your resume. Same thing with your cover letter. Let your cover letter reflect the job that you're applying for. Now, this is the second most important thing. Effort is going to produce results. Me, I had a goal. I applied to 10 jobs every single day until I landed the career that I have now. Don't believe me? Here's my daily goals. Apply for 10 jobs. The job market sucks and companies aren't hiring like that. But if you follow these steps, you can use those to get yourself just that extra step above the other candidates. And eventually you're going to find the right job. You're going to find a job that is hiring, that is looking for people, and you're going to land an interview. When a company reaches out to you for an interview, ask all the questions. Ask what is the process of the interview, what is going to happen in the next interview. If it's a technical interview, ask what type of questions are you going to be asking me to answer, and then do your research. Look up the answers to those questions. Look up how to find those answers. If you lied on your resume, you need to be able to make sure that that lie is not a lie. Like I said, I can't speak on this because I didn't lie on my resume, but if you did, you put something that you wasn't familiar with on your resume, and that's something that the company's going to want to learn about and want you to know, you need to make sure that you're doing your research so that you know what that information is by the time that interview happens. I'm not saying this is the end all be all the information that you're going to need, but it's definitely information that's important. If you're not tailoring your resume to each job that you're applying for, you're not doing it right.
I stopped looking for jobs and applying on Indeed and LinkedIn a long time ago, because what would happen is I would start getting messages from random companies or whoever's messaging me about a job opportunity that seemed like a scam. And what made it worse is even after getting rid of those apps and taking down my information, I still was getting messages. The best way to find a job is, like he said, going to the actual careers page of that company. 9 times out of 10, the company is going to check their career applications over Indeed or LinkedIn applications. Now, this isn't going to be a guarantee that you get the job, but it's going to put you a step closer than trying to apply using these other third-party apps.
Guys, this is really hard for me to say, but I feel like I have to reach that point where I kind of need to ask for help and maybe look into different government assistance fundings that are provided. If you've been following my page for a while, you know that I've been struggling to find a job, and living in the Bay Area is really expensive. My rent is about over $3,000 each month, and I got laid off back in May, and I have been trying so hard to find a job, but it hasn't been working out in my favor. With that being said, my savings can only go so much. I feel like I need to start planning out for the next couple months because I don't know what's gonna happen. So if you're currently in California and you receive any government benefits and aids, what is it like? What do you receive? How's the process? And yeah, just like any tips or advice to get over this hard bump in my life until I can get a job and stand on my two own feet again. But thanks for listening, and yeah.
To think there's people living in areas where their rent is over $3,000 and they can't afford it, but yet they still decide to live in that area. I drive past multiple houses, apartment complexes, and they're nowhere near that price. So I know for a fact $3,000 a month isn't the best you can be doing right now. If I had to choose between getting government assistance and just moving to another state where the rent is cheaper, I'm choosing moving. There's no way I can try to get government assistance when I chose to pay $3,000 a month, when there's other places out there to live that charge $1,500, maybe $2,000 a month. But anything's better than $3,000 a month. I know wanting to stay in an area because you have family or friends is important, but being financially stable and being able to depend on yourself is even more important. So if that means you have to move in order to find somewhere that has cheaper rent, so be it.
This is how I know I'm extremely unemployed. This is what I do in my free time sometimes, or have done. I go on a burner Instagram account. I lurk on people from my hometown, take their profile pic, change the picture a little bit on a face app, like make them bald or something, change a little thing, put it as my profile pic, follow them, and I never bully them. I don't say anything mean. I just kind of just like their pictures until they notice that we kind of look alike. Then they DM and block me, and I just restart over and over. And I don't do it out of envy. I just do it because I'm bored. I need mental stimulation, so I'm like, let me just bother you real quick. So yeah, that's what I'd be doing.
Update on the job that I interviewed for 3 weeks ago. I just got my rejection email. I'm pretty sure that the recruiter was just gonna ghost me, but I kept reaching out to her, and so I kind of forced her to respond and let her know that they filled the spot already. And I knew that 2 weeks ago when my friend told me that he got one of the positions. They were hiring for 5 or 6. And then I asked her if she could shed any light as to why, I wasn't chosen, because I thought I was a really good fit for the role, thought I got along with the team really well.
They don't need to explain nothing to you.
She just didn't respond. So, I don't know why I am so emotional about it, but I just feel like fucking shit, and it is like really hard to not take stuff like this personally when I know that the market is shit. I know that everyone is experiencing stuff like this, but it is so hard to stay positive and to believe in yourself, especially when shit like this happens and you feel like people just don't fucking care about you. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna post this, but I'm like so upset, and I just needed to get it out.
Well, you posted it. Now, one thing I will say is you have to believe in yourself more than anybody else, because first thing first is these jobs do not care about nobody. So if you have a job interview or you're working somewhere and you feel like they like you, they probably don't. The only thing you should be focused on is getting a job. Once you get it, go there, get your money, leave. That's it. You shouldn't be worried about who likes who and is this person my friend. They're focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's exactly how you should be.
Next month will be officially 1 year since I have been unemployed and got laid off from my agency job. I've networked with barely anybody responding back to me. I've interviewed, got to multiple last rounds. Always got the same feedback that they went with somebody with more experience, but I was a great candidate. I've applied to over 1,000 jobs. I've applied to even low-paying jobs. I've applied to internships. I don't know what else to do. I ask questions at the end of the interview. I get to know them. Like, I don't know what else they want from me.
So every time y'all start talking about how terrible the job market is, I go into work the very next day and just do my best. I'm just like, I'm here. I'm present. Good morning. I'm sending out good morning emails. Sign happy whatever day it is. Like, I just can't, okay? I literally show up and I show out every time y'all get to talking about the job market, because I need my job to know that I need my job, please.
Showing up and showing out at your job is not a reason for them to keep you around. Like I said, these jobs do not care about you, so they would gladly get rid of you and replace you with the next best thing. Doing more than you need to at your job is just gonna hurt you more than anything, because if they do let you go, you're just gonna feel like you've been doing all this work, you've been going so hard, so you don't deserve to be let go. But in the end, they don't care.
And the few that there are, you're competing with 5 million other people, and they're requiring that you offer up your firstborn and already come with 45 years of experience.
It's like I'm going to these interviews. I'm getting interviewed just for them not to call me back, update me, nothing, not even say no. I had an interviewer tell me, oh, we're actually not hiring right now. We don't have any open positions, but I'm just scouting for the future. What do you mean? This job market is trash, and I'm like done trying. For real. Yeah, right now I'm about to go look for a service job. That's all I got in me right now. But yeah, what's up? I'm sick.
Okay. I have to get this off my chest because I am really pissed about it. If you are in the job market currently and looking for work and you are over the age of 40, I think you need to know something about what I believe companies are doing. My husband has been looking for work and he's had plenty of interviews, but 3 of these interviews have stuck out to me. And the reason is because they've gone all the way through like 5th round interviews and 6th round interviews. During these interviews, each company has asked him to solve a hypothetical situation for their company and asked him to present to their C-suite executives how they would solve this, what type of strategy would he use, that type of thing. So he'll, spend a week creating a deck and get into the interview, and the CEO's there and the hiring manager, and then like 10 other people are there, and everybody's really engaged and they ask a ton of questions and things like that. So my husband thinks the interview went really well, and then they'll say, okay, we'll have a decision by the end of the week and we'll let you know either way. And my husband's like, great. And then the end of the week comes, nothing. He's completely ghosted, and he'll follow up with them and say, via email or whatever, because obviously you don't have phone numbers, and they don't respond at all. And this has happened to him 3 different times. So obviously I realize
sounds
I'm
pretty
biased,
suspicious.
But rather than it just being my husband, I honestly think that these companies are using interviewees to mine for ideas, for strategies, for information, rather than hiring a full-time employee and paying them a salary and benefits. And I think it's absolute bullshit. And they know that there's nothing that interviewees can do about it, because out here we are desperate for jobs, and companies don't want to hire right now because the economy sucks, and we're just like, we got to take it up the ass, and it sucks. And I could just be crazy thinking this, but maybe I'm not. Maybe this has been going on for a while, but if anybody else has had this issue, I'd like to know.
Now, that's honestly the first time I've heard that, but I'm not against it. It really sounds like that could be something that these jobs, these companies are doing. I've heard of multiple people going through the interview process and having to do assignments and projects or whatever it is for them not to even get the job. And when you think about it, these assignments or projects that they're having you do are things that they actually need. It's something that might be needed in that job, so they need somebody that's able to do it. It seems like they find somebody who wants the job that can do that exact assignment. They take the assignment from them and then they just send them on their way. And then they rinse and repeat the same setup. I can't imagine how many people done something like this where they had to do a whole project for a company and not even get the job. And to make this worse, imagine seeing your idea that you put on the paper in action at the company. Most people probably don't even follow up after that entire situation, so they don't even know if the company uses their idea. But just imagine, they might just be doing this because they don't feel like hiring somebody full-time to take on that position. This is honestly something to think about. If you ever experienced anything like this, let us know down in the comment section. Has a job ever had you do a project or assignment for them just for them not to ever reach back out to you? Or even worse, have you ever done a project or an assignment for a company, not get the job, and then seen the company using your idea? Whatever it is, let us know down in the comment section. But that is it for this video. So if you did enjoy this one, make sure you hit the like button. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button too so you can stay tuned for the next upload. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.